Hey everyone, Fez here from CryptoSetups. Today I'm going to talk to you about a protocol known as PlutusDAO. Now, on its website, it's got a tagline that says the Layer 2 governance black hole. If you've just discovered this, I know my initial take was, what is going on? There's so much happening with this protocol and what do I need to do? So this tutorial, I'm actually going to show you and explain in detail how it works, what it's about, and then give you some examples of how to use it, and also show you some tips and tricks to make sure that you're not selling yourself short. That's right, making sure that you get the best swap ratios when you're converting your assets or using this protocol as a whole. Now, as always, not financial advice. These videos are strictly for educational purposes only. So to keep things simple, I'm going to show you the two things PlutusDAO offers, okay? One is a vault product. Now, if you're familiar with YEarn and things like that, basically vault protocols that make you add an asset and then it auto compounds for you, that is one of the assets that it offers, PlutusDAO offers, and that's in the form of the GLP token. So it's actually called the GLP Vault, and you can put your GLP token into the vault, and essentially all this does is it auto compounds the ETH you earn into GLP and does that automatically for you, so you don't have to click buttons or remember to claim your yield or anything like that. So this is one of its flagship products, and if you're not sure what GLP is, I've actually made a tutorial on GMX and GLP where I actually focus on what GLP is about and how it works. So if you watch that, then this vault that I will just touch on via screen share in a moment will make a lot of sense. But in general, this is how the product worked as I described it earlier, and it's super simple to use. Then the next part is what they call the governance black hole, okay? PlutusDAO wants to basically take any governance token and give you a representation of that, an IOU back. So let me use Radiant as an example. So we know, for example, Radiant has its token, it's used as governance, but it also earns yield. So at the moment, for you to earn that yield, you have to lock the Radiant token into a liquidity pool for a period of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. The longer, the more you earn. Now, you can do that, or you can go and add some liquidity with your RDNT token, come to PlutusDAO and give that liquidity to them, and they give you an IOU plsRDNT token that is then swappable on a DEX for RDNT. So what it's doing is PlutusDAO is taking your RDNT liquidity, DLP. It is locking it for 12 months. It's giving you the same amount back in plsRDNT, and you're earning the same amount of yield you would as a 12-month lockup. But you have the option to swap that back into RDNT if you choose. If you want to move it earlier, like in 6 months you're done and you want to just swap it into RDNT, you can do that because you have the PLS variant of the token. Now, there's a few things that come into play here, and I will show you that as I screen share and talk through the tutorial, but I wanted you to understand this concept. So this is what it's doing. It's taking a token and then giving you another token back, which is a representation of what you've given the DAO. Now, what's in it for them? Well, they have their own token, the PLS token, that essentially will represent all the governance tokens they hold. So as they start sucking up more governance tokens, and you can actually look on the website right now and it tells you like DPX, they've got Jones, they've got SPA, and the website may get updated to call out how much of RDNT that they have, but they're slowly starting to acquire a lot of these governance tokens. And then when they want to vote on things, these individual protocols want to start voting and making changes, the PLS, the actual DAO token, will have quite a lot of power because it has acquired so much of the token of these various protocols governance tokens. So that's the goal here. That's what they're aiming for. And the cool way they've wrapped it all together is many of these governance tokens are now giving real yield, and they're ensuring that you can get this real yield without locking up your assets and having access to liquid assets, but still get that yield. So let's jump in and take a look, and I'll give you some examples, and I'll show you some tips and tricks on, like I said earlier, on how to make sure that you're not missing out if the market has priced or underpriced an asset. You're using the right ways to cross-check things. Okay, so first thing, head over to PlutusDAO, connect your wallet, connect my wallet. Let's quickly click on vaults. This is the one where I wanted to show you what happens here. So this is the GLP vault, and there's only one, which is GLP at the moment. So let's quickly run through this process. Okay, I'm gonna first approve it. Now I'm gonna deposit, so I'll deposit 15 to make it nice and easy. Excellent. Over here you can see the APR. So at the moment you're getting the GLP APR, and it's kind of topped off with PLS emissions. So why would you use this vault? Well, one, no longer auto compounding, and two, you're going to earn a little bit of the PLS token. And this is how they entice you for all the other strategies: is you come in, use their protocol, get a bit of the stake in the DAO. So you can see I have the PLV GLP. Now, this here is to redeem. Right now, I don't want to redeem anything. So this is the thing. There's no fee, but if you go to redeem, you will pay a fee, which is 2%. And this is how it works. 1.5 goes to the protocol, and then the other goes to the vault, which then I'm assuming gets distributed to PLS stakers, etc. So down here, then what you want to do is, you can see I need to stake it. So let's click on approving the contract. Now you can set this is basically what it would allow the contract, the max amount it'll allow your wallet to give the contract. Great, and I'll stake it. Click max and then stake it. So this is the next, you can see it's done. Now every day I should start, every 8 hours or 12 hours I should start earning, mind you, barely 12 isn't much, but I should start earning PLS based on the percentage, and then the GLP portion, it will auto compound. So basically what will happen is that the value of this PLV GLP will grow, because you can see over here that one of this is worth 1.19. So this, as it's earning more, this figure won't change. All that will happen is it will be redeemable, where you go and actually redeem it for more GLP over time, because it's compounding and growing in value. That's how the GLP vault works. Now, the next thing you have is the convert function. Okay, so this is where I talked about where they want to acquire governance tokens. So you can see currently, if you hold the Arbitrum token that you got airdropped or you've bought, really you're not earning anything off it, you're just holding it. But you can come to PlutusDAO and basically convert it for plsARB, and then you're going to earn at the moment 8%. And where is this coming from? This is basically the PLS token that they are giving as emissions. Now, what the protocol does when it introduces a new asset, you can see at the moment that it's saying liquid pool coming soon. So I mentioned earlier that you can then, when you use this protocol, you get the PLS version of the token, and then it gives you a chance to redeem it for the actual token at whenever you please. You're not subject to lockups and things like that. The key point to remember here is 2 points. Is one, you can redeem it based on a market value, which is determined by people, how they're selling or buying the particular asset. And two, it is when they open up a new asset, there's usually a 2 to 3 month timeline before a liquidity pool gets created on a protocol for you to have the option to trade out of it. So keep that in mind. And here's a great example. So they have just recently announced that they will be taking part in the Camelot concentrated liquidity farm for the ARB token. So that will be cool. It will happen soon in middle of June or something like that. But you can see it's got a logo here. So initially when a new asset gets introduced, there's a couple of months that go by before these pools get activated. And this is a great example. The RDNT one just recently got activated. Now, it doesn't always go to Camelot. They use different dexes. There's Sushi, there's others. So just keep that in mind and make sure you read. They do a ton of updates via articles, so you can follow along. But you can see over here, these are currently all the assets they offer that you can swap, use the governance token and swap it into the PLS version. Coming back up here, before you go to use each of these, I'm not going to go through each and every one, but I want to break down key concepts so that you know what you're doing when you hit the site. You can see up here, this is where it's telling you to check if there's a discount. This is super important because on the website, you're always going to get a 1-for-1 conversion. Okay, so in this example, like if I did 100, I would get plsARB token of 100. But down here, if I were to do DPX, for example, and I do 10, I would get 10 PLS DPX tokens. Okay. However, if you head over here, and right now you can see that they have a liquidity pool. If I did 10 over here, I'm actually going to get 10.70 PLS DPX tokens. So this is why the site is telling you, if you're looking to swap it into a PLS version, make sure if there's a liquidity pool that you're doing your comparisons to make sure you're getting the best value. Because at the moment I can earn 0.7 more PLS of DPX if I use the swap pool. Now, also keep in mind, make sure you're checking how much liquidity so you don't ape in with the 100,000 and the pool can't actually support it. But this is the first step you should do before you actually convert your assets. If it has a pool, double check like for like what you're getting. In this example, I'm getting a ton more. On the flip side though, like, here's an example of when you hold the asset, you can see now you're taking a bit of a loss when you're converting back. But in this instance, I'm not too familiar with the DPX protocol, the token and its protocol, but if there's a lockup and things like that, you may not be able to unstake depending. With RDNT, I can talk to it in more detail. But this is the flip side of the equation. So but if you bought from here, then it's kind of even Steven. But this is what I meant by the market rate. So if more users, rather than jumping in the convert function, actually come in and use it this way, we should see price stay very close to the actual value of the official token. I hope that's made sense. I know I haven't gone through with the transactions, but you get the context. So I'm going to go through the RDNT process. One thing I want to note is there is a pool at the moment, and if I compare it, I'm willing to bet I could get more using the pool, but Radiant have just kicked off a airdrop portion for their ARB tokens. So now, while you may be able to get a little more of the RDNT token via the pool, in the example I just showed you, if you want to get the airdrop, you actually have to do a new conversion on the site. You can't go and get the liquidity from the pool. So please keep this in mind, especially if you want this airdrop. So with that in mind, I'm going to run through this process with the goal that you actually want this airdrop to qualify for this airdrop. So I'm going to approve the pool, and there's a few little quirks to it, the way this works. So I actually have the RDNT token here, but if you're seeing it's not showing up. Why is that? Because it's actually telling you need the DLP token. So the way RDNT works is you don't stake the token, you actually take you actually have to lock it up. So a simple way to quickly do this is if you go to the RDNT site and you click buy, it'll then load up Balancer, and in Balancer click on pool, and here you go. If it's not there, just search filter by token, type RDNT. So what you need to do is you first need to add your liquidity into it. That's what forms the DLP token. Now normally you would just go on here and click zap and you would zap it in and it takes care of it for you, but You do not use this function because then it actually locks the DLP via the protocol itself, but you would need access to this. So you come and add the liquidity here. So what I'll do over here is I'm going to just put 20, cool. Just for this example, I'm going to put that in. I'll hit preview. Great, I'll hit add liquidity. Excellent, so that's done. I'll return to the pool page and you can actually see I have unstaked LP tokens, but now I don't need to do anything here. So let's head on back to PlutusDAO. I'll just refresh. You can see now right away I have got my 4.14. That is basically what I got when staking it, if you saw. Great, you can see I have added that. Now I have, it's not representing the RDNT in my wallet, but it's representing the actual liquidity I provided the RDNT with my ETH. Now I can hit convert, and if I hit confirm, great. So now the liquidity, now I have the PLS representation of the RDNT DLP. Okay, so you're not done here. Once that's done, the next thing you need to do, because you've gotten the token, the other step now you need to do is you want to earn the rewards the token currently gives you as a holder, right? So in RDNT, you would zap and then just pick 3, 6, 12 months. With PlutusDAO, it's automatically now locked in for 12 months, or well, you have full access to your tokens to now swap out using Chronos and get RDNT back. Or you can actually come into the stake page and you can see now you have all the different assets, PLS assets you can stake, and you can see over here the plsRDNT. At the moment it is giving 91.33%. So if you head on to Radiant, you will notice at the moment your DLP would earn 77.80%. So you're actually earning more on Plutus. And why is that? Because if you click on it, you can see that you've got the Radiant APR and you got an additional PLS emissions being added to that. So, and over here, I'll just run through the process. So you can max deposit. I'll first approve the contract. Great. Then come back here and just make sure we deposit it. Now this is not, if you deposit and you're staking this aspect, you're not getting locked in for 12 months. It's just literally for you to stake so that you earn the real yield that the RDNT protocol pays out. So essentially they just pass it back to you. So you have to do this step, otherwise you're not going to earn that yield. And to claim it, all you do is you head on here and it tells you that every day it'll get updated at this time. So depending on your stash, it will just start to build and you can claim over here. Okay, so hopefully that's helped. That's how you use the RDNT piece, especially if you're not sure, because it's not just the token, it's the DLP component. So I've shown and broken it all down for you here. The ARB token is much simpler. You basically do the swap that I showed you earlier. You approve, you swap, you get the plsARB, you come to this screen and you stake it, and then you'll see your PLS tokens being earned. So, and it's the same over here and for PLS Jones. So hopefully that has helped. The other thing that I have not covered now, and I'm not going to cover in this tutorial, but just a very quick overview, is that PLS token itself. So you can actually stake it, as you can see over here. And what usually happens is it locks, so you only get a small period of time to stake it. And when you stake it, you'll receive bribes, and staking rewards and a few other things, because basically those fees, they take a portion of fees here and there, like from Radiant, from the various governance tokens they take on. If it earns yield, as a small portion the protocol keeps, and then if you stake it, these get distributed to stakers, giving that PLS token additional utility. But they are about to release a whole new tokenomics piece for their token, and we'll wait for that to get released before I want to cover that in detail. But for now, this is what you can do to additionally earn a bit more with the PLS token if you're just holding it. And looking forward to the revised tokenomics and seeing how things work moving forward. So coming back up here, one thing to note, and I've quickly showed you, you'll see that they have various governance tokens have different pools, so you need to keep an eye on that where you're going to do the swaps. Lucky they show most of it on different pages, so you can click and go in, but you can see a lot is with Camelot as well, so just keep that in mind. I've been talking about RDNT a lot. If you don't know about the protocol, I got an in-depth tutorial as well, so do watch that and that'll get you across. It's a money market and it's a great one on Arbitrum. So overall, I believe I have covered everything. There is a stats page that you can go and see how much they hold and all those things. But I think the most important part is understanding what the convert page is, how you can use it, and your opportunity at the moment to which pools are offering you a better position. If you're looking to convert some of these tokens, you may want to go to the pool first to check if you're getting a better conversion rate. Note with the RDNT, even if you get a better conversion rate, if you want the airdrop, you need to do it manually through the website, okay, to qualify for the airdrop, which they are going to pass on to people who use this function. I hope this tutorial has helped break down a little bit of what PlutusDAO is. I think it's quite a cool protocol. Gives governance tokens a bit more of a use case, a one-stop shop for all your governance tokens. If you have a ton and you're getting tired of claiming everything, you know, just come in here. It's a way of managing your governance tokens, really, for the end user, if you want to look at it, especially if they're supporting all the protocols that you have tokens for, and you're earning an additional token by using the protocol. So if you have any questions, add it in the comments, let me know. I'll try my best to answer it, and I look forward to covering the new tokenomics that they're going to drop for their token PLS. So until then, take care everyone. Like, share, subscribe, you know the drill. Take care. Bye.